You want to be successful? You want to be like Trump? Gimme, gimme, gimme. Push, 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 push. Step, step, step. Crush, crush, crush. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. Even if you earned it, you still owe. But I mean, can you imagine somebody having $32 million? 32. $32 million. And this person has nothing, and you can sleep. You can still go to the movie. These are the type of people that get humanitarian awards. Millionaires. How can they be humanitarians by the fact that they millionaires and there's so many poor people shows how unhumane they are.
Hey, welcome to Everything Is Podcast. I'm your host, Chidi Bang, and let me throw it to my boy who's a little bit more prepared than I am, I guess. Chris the Most High, Joy Rely. How you doing, brother?
Hey, my man, stay trying to dox himself on this thing, man.
I am trying to set this shit up on this side. It's not easy, brother. So my mind is all over the place, man. I'm dealing with the cold dope and hit this, hit that, but so yeah, I keep just saying my government now all of a sudden. No, but I am Chidi Bang. I'm here to talk about everything is. So ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm here with my tag team partner, Chris the Most High, Joint Roller Ayatollah. We're here to bring to you the news and talk about everything that matters, and hopefully you're here with us because this shit is not always easy. I was just talking to my brother, man, and I struggle, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I struggle a little bit. I struggle with a little bit of sometimes they say ignorance is bliss, and sometimes say people are cursed with knowledge, And I feel like sometimes when you are in this world that we are in today, and you see the news on a day-to-day basis, or you see, how things are evolving in society, it can feel very daunting. It can feel very sad. It could put you in a place where, you're too informed, you could be super apathetic, and then you kind of want to protect people's innocence. You want to protect your friends, you want to protect your family, but you're dealing with this knowledge that you're like, man, I feel like there's impending doom for a lot of people, and I want them to know so they can prepare. I want them to be aware of what's going on in the world today. And I was just telling my bro, sometimes I don't even want to come to him with a topic because it might be another stack on all the bullshit that he knows that is already fucked up right now, and give him no hope, because I don't want to sit here and put you in a position where you're lacking hope and I'm lacking hope and then the whole world lacking hope.
Well, I think, we talk about all the time about, me being apathetic to certain situations. And that's realistic. And that's realistically because there are so many things on different levels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got systemic, you got societal, you got state, you got municipality, you got federal. Like, there is so many things that contribute. Excuse me. And then you ain't even touch on family. You see how I ain't even say what's going on in your household with your sister, or what's going on with my wife or your nephew and my kids, or mom and brother and nephew, or mom, brother. We ain't even get there yet. We talking about waking up and you like, damn, municipality, right? Meaning where I'm from, tomorrow, since the last day of school, you know what I'm saying, for my youngs.
Okay.
I'm like, nigga, what we about to do for the summer? But I'm talking about literally today, condensation running from the AC unit. Yeah. So my room next door to the AC is the carpet wet. So I'm like, I ain't no HVAC, nigga. Lord knows I should have took that trade when motherfuckers was telling me to. So now I'm thinking about I'm gonna have to call a motherfucker to come check this out. But now then on top of, like I'm saying, school, then I'm thinking about what's going on with the state with Ron DeSantis and Rick Scott. Then you think about what's going on with Trump. Niggas, everywhere you go, niggas want to put up posters and signs at 250, 250, 250, celebrating America at 250 as a descendant of slaves in America. This guy, nigga, what we celebrate. When niggas want to talk about make America great again, I really gotta ask motherfuckers in our comments, bro, what do that mean to you? At what point in time do you think that America was great? Can you tell me that? When was America great? Was America great in the 90s when Bill Clinton was in office and we had $1 trillion surplus? Was America great again when we went to the war in 2001? What was America great again when we had segregation? Was America great again when we had Reconstruction? Was America great again when we had motherfucker the civil rights, the Civil War? Like when was America 13 colonies? Like when the fuck was America that we about to celebrate for 250 great? And to your point of bringing things to me, nigga, sports is littered with it. My topics is motherfucking James Pierce Jr., motherfucking and Josh Jacobs beating on women.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you like it's like we can't get away from it in sports.
yeah.
We can't get away from it like nowhere, bro. Like so, yeah, it's
I
tough sometimes.
and and you know when I say like curse with knowledge, like I sometimes feel like I am living in a separate reality than other people because when we say basic shit like, okay, if you support Trump, you're supporting racism. Even people in our comment section are gonna go ahead and start defending this guy and saying how is MAGA racist and all that stuff. And I don't have the time for those conversations because I'm like, at this point, if you're not seeing it, you're not trying to see it. You're not trying. You're not trying
But
to.
I think you have your days because we literally say a couple days ago that like we need to be able to have people see. They might not be
Yeah,
able to see on their own. So
exactly.
those so
And that's
me and
why I
you,
do this. That's why
you
we
know what I'm
do this.
saying?
And and that's why I do this. I want people to know, like, I am not trying to come on here and label people with no knowledge. I swear to you, I do a ton of research and I try my best to get things right and to explain why the current administration is putting us in a terrible position as Americans. I mean, to be Americans, you got to be tolerant of people who are different than you. And I completely agree with that. But at some point, when it comes to people who, you shouldn't be tolerant of people who are not tolerant of you, in my opinion. With people who are not tolerant of, you know, your existence as who you are. I should be able to say, okay, I have a problem with something going on here in America, and there be some people saying, okay, what is that? You have a freedom of speech, and what is that issue? That's what we're here for. And it shouldn't all be lumped into a box. And I try to break through those boxes, and I'm trying to grow through this experience of being knowledgeable and trying to bring knowledge to other people. But it gets hard because the more you find out, the more you're going to tell people things that they don't want to hear, a lot of these days, and you kind of sometimes I want to come here and have a pod where me and you are just cracking up and having jokes, but I can't ignore some of the stuff going on today, and I gotta bring it to the people. Hopefully, people learn something. Hopefully, people will take some from that. But the first part of pushing back against some of these anti, just basically anti-American policies and levers being put in place right in front of our face is to first be knowledgeable about it, and that's why I think it's better to talk about these things. So
Well, I would my conversation to you is difficult because we're putting the expectation of wanting to know something on someone else. right? So
What do
when
you
we're
mean?
saying burning with the curse of knowledge, right? We want to know, like we want to learn, we want to be informed, right? We there is a large majority of people who, if I know this guy from what I know this guy from or to be, there is very difficult things to change, right? So when we talk about just Donald Trump, like I remember, shout out, rest in peace, Mac Miller, Absols. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like they got a song, Donald Trump. You know what I mean? Like Donald Trump was someone at a certain amount of time to be aspiring to be. Like we cannot ignore that quote unquote history.
Depends on who you
My
are though,
point,
and depends on
well,
what you
I
know
mean,
about the guy.
well,
And
I'm just saying, depending on
that's the
who we
thing.
are.
There are people who
I'm
still
talking about,
aspire to be him. You know what I mean?
but that's what I'm saying. So again, from that's what I'm saying. You have our generation and beyond who are some of the most stubbornest, stuck in their ways people in the history of this country. Right? We're talking about boomers. We're talking about millennials. We're talking about, right? We're talking about people who know what they know. Right? You think about it and break it down. You in the dating game, you got women that be like, "I am who I am." I'm like, "Damn, bitch, you ain't gonna change." You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like it has to take real them wanting to, like, damn, that's just who you are, right? You don't want to change, right? So extrapolating that into knowledge, right? Thought process, how I think, right? That takes a lot of work internally
100%.
for a
Yeah,
mother.
100%.
And
And
and and
I'm not. And I want you to know, like, my duty is not to change everybody's opinion, but for the French people who are on this and who are willing to listen and hear, or willing to say, "Hey, man, what do these two guys got to say about this topic?" I'm curious. I am here for that.
we do
Um,
come up, we come off trident. I do. We do. We because we are we have we are starch in our opinion. So it will come off putting to someone who does not understand
mhm.
why
I'm
what
not.
we say about
I'm not here
Jackson
to.
Dart.
Yeah, I'm not here to please everybody. That's for damn sure. So if you're here, from some of our other comments and you don't like it, so be it. You can sit down in the comments and ask us a question, and if you're honest about, hey man, you really are curious about the question, I am willing to have conversations. But there's a lot of people that are just trolls, a lot of people that are genuinely false actors, and are not in good faith when they want to talk about these touchy topics. And today's another one of them touchy topics. Before I play any clips, I I just want to introduce who I'm talking about, because it does have to do with Trump, and it does have to do with the Trump administration. So just bear with me here. There is a little bit uh, I got to break down for you. So in our first topic, we're going to be talking about the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller. You know, he currently serves as a Deputy Chief of Staff, and he's the Homeland Security Advisor. So he's one of the most powerful unelected positions in the federal government, and he controls the policy agenda behind the scenes. So he was also Trump's senior advisor and speechwriter in the first term. So every major immigration policy you've heard in the past 8 years, it's Miller who wrote it. So
Excuse me.
before we play this clip, I want to make sure that y'all understand who he is, because his name gets said in the news cycles, and a lot of people don't know like the full picture of who he is. Stephen Miller is the chief of staff, as I mentioned, for policy. He's not elected. Nobody voted for him, but he controls more of this administration's agenda than almost anyone you've actually heard of. Actually, so he's like kind of behind the scenes. He's like, I'm not going to use that analogy, but he's behind the scenes of Trump. So in 2019, and this is documented, by the way. This is not an opinion. Over 900 emails of his were sent to Breitbart, which is a news publication, and it was leaked. And in those emails, he was recommending white nationalist websites, white nationalist books, white nationalist themes to shape the news coverage. So he's sending that all to Fox. He's sending that to, CNN, CBS, whatever. He's sending all the white nationalist stuff. So he's pushing an agenda. This is all an agenda. And the leaders of the Congressional Black Caucus, the Hispanic Caucus, and the Progressive Caucus looked at those emails and called him in writing a far white nationalist. So over 100 members of Congress demanded his resignation. This is back in 2019. And he didn't resign. We just moved the fuck on, right? So now we're here in 2024. Election happens, and Trump gets to pick his cabinet. He comes back, Stephen Miller, and he gets promoted. And now he's one of the most powerful people in the country. Hold on 1 second. I'm cold. You cold? All right, give me 1 second. I'll be right back, Chris.
No problem. And I think that we about to celebrate for 250. Oh, okay. So what I would like to kind of then bring up and talk about with that is that when we reelect Trump as a country, unfortunately, we then inherit the 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 cabinet that he creates. And when these checks and balances seem to go un, 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 unpoached, right? Like when he has the availability to in a immunity to make decisions. I mean, essentially, it's really hard for me to talk when like he got elected anyway. Like we're talking about a guy that got voted
Yeah,
out.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Right. And
yeah.
then,
I mean,
no, this is you're like with like I know
but
that
these
you
are,
like so when he gets reelected, we didn't just yes, we're going to not I'm not trying to be apathetic, but when you're reading off the LinkedIn profile of this guy, of what he's done, what he hasn't done, who he's offended, who he supports, right? It only necessarily fits when we're looking at who is
I
now putting
need
him in.
exactly. I need, but the reason why I'm reading this off because it's super critical to understand that when we talk about this Trump administration and saying it's a bigoted, racist, white supremacist, we're not just hyperbolic, Like I don't like I'm reading this off and these are all facts that you can look up. So if you're in this country and you're ignoring this, you're siding with white nationalism. So when we say, yeah, we want Jackson Dart to get a block knocked off for sitting next to Trump, this is why, And granted, what, like I don't know Jackson Dart. I don't know why the fuck he's next to Trump. I'm not sure if he knows this, but that goes to the lack of the ignorance and the lack of of repercussions for people who who have been proven to be anti-blacks, anti-immigrant. And there is a wealth of people in this country that are legal citizens that are all that. So when you are governing, you're governing everybody, They're governing everybody. And we get into this place where we have to sit here and act like the sky is, you know, not blue because we sit here and we have to fight and defend our opinions that this is a racist regime, So yeah, he got elected. But a lot of people elected him knowing this. A lot of people then there's a lot of people that elected him not knowing this too. They they are willfully ignorant, or they'll deny it and say it's not that bad. You said Project 2025. We talked about that in the past. We all saw it coming. We all told y'all this was going to happen. War, ICE locking people up in camps, uh, military in the streets, rolling back civil rights and voting rights. He's done all that. So when we talk about this regime, I just fucking can't stand that we can't be honest about who these people are and then say, hey, is that person good for running this entire country? Absolutely not. This guy Stephen Miller is a complete creep. He's a complete monster. Now let me move forward on with this. Like, so what you're about to hear in the video is Stephen Miller talking about welfare. Specifically, he's building a case that welfare system is broken. That people are just walking in and saying they have kids. People are just getting paid, and he's using this Somali community in Minnesota as a primary example, which is a complete lie that has been a propaganda tool they've been using since the campaign to run for president with Trump. So I want you to listen, and then we're going to tell you what the actual data says, because in our opinion, at least in my opinion, this is not a policy argument. This is just a narrative, and it's being built for specific purposes.
So the way most welfare works in most states and most places is we take your word for it. If you fill out a piece of paper and you say your kids are hungry, you are going to get food stamps. We don't check as a country if you even have kids. The fact is basic as that. We don't even check if you even have children. You will just start getting the checks. And so what's happened to our country is we became a society, as we've seen with the Somali refugee problem in Minnesota, where you have a large number of people that are not following the honor system. They're not playing by the rules. They're not abiding by our laws. And the amount that has been fleeced from us is in the hundreds of billions of dollars. I believe, based on what I've seen and what I've heard, is that we could balance the federal budget if the only dollars that went out of the Treasury went to individuals who were properly, lawfully, correctly eligible to receive them. And that ultimately is going to be what we have to do as a country. In the meantime, because of the vice president's leadership, you are seeing the most muscular, robust, aggressive, dedicated, determined, and speedy effort to shut down criminal fraud that has not only ever occurred in the history of this country, but in any developed nation. And so
So what he just said was a complete lie. Chris, I gotta ask you: have you ever applied for food stamps before?
Yeah.
Um, do you realize, like, can you tell me about how much information you gotta give them to be approved? Is it just you
It
walk
make
in
you
there and
not wanna
say,
it make you not wanna fill it out on my mama, cuz. Like it's
exactly?
so much tedious shit that you gotta fill out that it make you be like, nigga, I don't even want to game these niggas, cuz.
So this is a complete lie. Listen, we have people who have I've been on, not recently, but in the past I've had family on it. I've been on it in the past when I was when I was growing up, when I was very sick at one point and I needed help. When I was living in the city, um, and it's a daunting process, bro. I think this should be the daunting episode, honestly, because it is a daunting process to go through every little bit of your history, job history, your bank account, your social security. You got to get a letter from other people to prove that you live where you live. Like you need co-signers and all types of shit. And he's saying that you can just walk in and say you don't
First of
have kids.
all, he ain't never walked in a motherfucking city hall social service building a day in his motherfucking life. Cause if you think you can walk in and walk out
With a
with
check.
food stamps, are you fucking stupid? First of all, what check? He's talking about. So first of all, you talking about SSI? You talking about SSD? That ain't welfare, my nigga. That's social. Like that's supplemental income. Like that is social. That is supplemental income for disability. Like
Yeah.
so, you're talking about food stamps. You talking about a SSI or SSD check because food stamps don't come in checks, my
They
guy.
don't come in checks. Thank you. They don't.
Food stamps don't
You
come
get
in
an
checks.
EBT
No,
card, bro.
you get a card
Yo, you need
that they
proof of you
upload.
need ID, proof of residency, social security numbers, of income verification. You need so much goddamn shit
So
to
how
get
these Somali
anything.
immigrants who don't who are who how is this little small subset of people who
Yeah,
clearly are illegal, how do they bypass something that takes so much rigmarole?
and if they call people that were gaming the system, then the system already works. They call people, they've been convicted, it's over with. And
They talk to niggas like they're
30,
dumb.
yo, yeah, 20 to 30 Somali people who may have gotten food stamps for a little bit does not mean that you could close the federal budget with this. And I think that these, oh man, I don't want to label people, but I think people are freaking stupid if they really listen to this and believe it. And I don't like to say that because, but just put two and two together. It doesn't make sense. You know, I
No,
think
they
that
do
this
they say Trump helps business. Trump helps me. Trump helps the middle class. Like
but
they
there's a lot of
like
poor white Americans that voted for him, a lot of poor Latino Americans, black Americans that voted for this guy that are worried
that's
about the
why we
gas prices, worried about the war, like, and also can't pay for groceries right now. So people are
hold
already
on.
dealing with the inflation of groceries, and now you're saying, hey, let's cut even more people off their SNAP
I,
benefits. People who
I
are
know
having
we
babies
don't.
can't get the milk. Go ahead.
Hey, I know this. So you talking to me like this? I'm saying let this shit burn. Let it burn. Every like there, you can't save.
Listen, man,
You can't
burn,
save the
burn.
good
So I want you to follow that logic out. Let it burn. All right. What does that look like to you?
and lets people see where they fucked up at.
So you let them
The
suffer,
the well, bro. If
and in the
we're talking
process,
about
we're
if we're
suffering too because these
hey
guys
and listen,
let it
hey
burn,
yeah,
right?
hey hold on, because hold on, we're already suffering. 38 to 44% of white Americans, 38 to 44% of white Americans is documented on one of these services. And I will bet money that a high percentage of that percentage voted for where we are at right now. Now, my only thing could be they can hear this and then do what? Because they heard it before it was voted upon and they voted for it anyway.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Project 25, they said it was hoopla. When he got voted on and they was talking about the one beautiful bill, niggas that thought we was talking propaganda. Like when we tell them that they're gonna strip the fucking land from farmers, right? When they're gonna strip back grants from farmers, right?
Freaking tariffs, raising prices, crazy
So,
shit, you know?
when we see that as a person who, again, cursed with knowledge, knew it was gonna happen, right? So what can we do while it's happening? We knew it was going to happen before it happened. And as it is happening, we are already struggling. The people who don't know what the struggle is are the people who just now figuring out that they vote fuck them over.
It's insane to me because like so the data shows that 42 million Americans are on food stamps. Most of them are white. Most of them are elderly, disabled, and they can be even working and still in need to supplement their income because things are just out of price right now. It's just outrageous. So if they suffer and we suffer, where does that leave the country? You
We
know,
come together. We finally come together. When has there been a time that they suffered like we suffered? At all. I'm talking Reconstruction. I'm talking about Jim Crow. I'm talking about segregation. I'm talking about when has white middle America, because when affirmative action came, guess who got the jobs? White women. Right? When we talk about the labor unions that was grown that we have right now, is because they didn't want fucking black people working after fucking Reconstruction, bro. That's the reason why that's the reason why unions were created. Like, so when we talk about the infrastructure of this, when we talk about the fucking brain trust of where this comes from, when we talk about the celebration of 250 years of America, this has to fucking burn down. There is no, you can't say, you talking about a nigga, you can't even fucking type and reason with a nigga. What the fuck you mean we about to do? If you can't be on a YouTube comment and try to talk to a nigga across the
Listen,
aisle, then let that nigga
I
burn.
don't do it for them. I don't do it for them. I do it for people who are, seeing this in their TikTok, in their YouTube shorts, or that are liking it, and maybe not saying nothing, and maybe like, huh, I didn't see it that way. I'm not doing it for him. And I
No, no,
do think
but
I
even
do
the
think there
people
are
who like
people.
it don't say nothing. They gotta. That's the point. Even the people who like it, that's where we at right now. You
If
talking
we
about the
change
fringe?
one mind, I did my job. Like, because you have this person who, ironically, is, this guy Stephen Miller is a white nationalist who's telling us what to do with SNAP benefits, right? And saying that that's going to close the federal budget, which is a complete fucking lie. Meanwhile, this guy's Jewish. He's a descendant of Jewish refugees. So with the persecution of them in Eastern Europe, his own family, immigrated to America, and now he's using that to hurt all Americans, including immigrants. It goes to show that I believe the more we expose these people, hopefully people can wake the fuck up and see the incongruency or the hypocrisy in their nature. Now, I'm not saying everybody. I
No, no, no.
guarantee we're gonna get some haters. I guarantee along the way we're gonna get some pushback, a lot of pushback actually.
But I'm not
But
even talking about us. I'm talking about in the state of what you just spoke of. When 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 the guy is running and we say he's a predator, we have stone cold hardcore evidence facts. He's a fraud. His banks, his tax statements. He's not this astute business guy. He's bankrupt everywhere. The casino, the hotels, the guy. Like we have pulled the wolves from over niggas' eyes. We taped their motherfucking eyelids open. They can't blink. We told these niggas, bro. Like I'm not. I hate to. I don't. I love you, but I don't give a fuck about what you talking about. We can't. Them niggas are gone. Them niggas. 77 million people are gone. What is the fraction of people that has to be changed for something to happen? Because I don't want increments. Increments don't matter. Us changing one mind does not matter. And I know that's your sentiment, but Chidi Bang has his sentiments and Chris has his. What I'm saying is one mind don't change when 77 million of the motherfuckers had the same mind idea.
and that's a great perspective. But at the same time, we're gonna be diametrically opposed because that's not how the world works. One mind duplicates into two minds to four to eight. This is how knowledge spreads, bro. I wasn't always a person who was knowledgeable. And I guarantee you, we're doing more than just one because I've already had people talk to me about some of the content we put out, in my personal life, who are seeing what we're doing and giving us props. They're tapping in. And they appreciate it because they didn't know some of the stuff that we were talking about. So I know there is value in that. So when you say, "Oh, one minded on," maybe it's not. But if we did this for 5 years, like we did Reasonable Wrestling, how many minds do you think we change? How many minds do you think we actually educate or enlighten to things that they never knew, where
But
they can now go research themselves and get more information and maybe
but in
get
five
active
but in five but
So
in 5 years, in 5 years of us doing what we're doing now in the last 5 weeks, right? Because outside of what we've been recording on, we've been linking up outside. We've been trying to get our bearings and figure this out. And it started with the political landscape. It started with James Tellerico. It started with Jasmine Crockett. It started with us being interested in Texas. Nigga, you live in New York. I live in Florida. We were interested in what the fuck was going on in Texas because it was very much grasping of, but once that goes, it went. You see
What
what
do you
I'm
mean? What do you
saying?
mean? What do you mean goes? What do you mean? What goes?
We have not talked about James Tellerico in a good 2 months.
So
I know, but
I'm
that's
still
what
paying attention. They just announced his running or who he's running against today. There's a whole primary that they didn't even finish for the Republican side. So right now they're
who they
gonna
run who's he running up against? Is it the black guy, Rob Hunt?
nah nah.
You not know he wasn't gonna win. I knew his black ass wasn't gonna win, brother. But I
Yeah.
hear no, but I hear
Yeah.
I hear
Ken.
what you're
I mean
saying, but
Ken Paxton. He's a he's the
okay.
GOP
But
candidate.
I think even with that, I know we me and you talked about it was like, hey, we're gonna keep tabs, because Tallarico,
Yeah.
he spoke the right words, he said the right things, he had the right posture. But as we know, people can be made, right? We talked about that all the time. We
Yeah.
just want to,
This is
and
it's gonna be like we just start. This is we're only like 4 weeks, not even 4 weeks yet, fully in the spot. So yeah, we're gonna get to Giancarlo Rico at some point. Like you can give him some time. Like right now,
we
we
got
got yeah,
I mean, we've been heavy on Mamdani. We just, we've been talking. We're interested in what's going on with Miss Keisha Bottoms in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. We
we've been.
can be tapped in. Mamdani's actually doing shit because he's already in office. Tyler Rico's running. I can't just be like, hey guys, Tyler Rico's running again when he already won the primary. Like the what we were talking about at the time was the race between him and Yadna Crockett and where we stand on that. Um, this now we get to see what the policies are for Ken Paxton and James Salarico. See if James Salarico can pull it off and flip Texas. So that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on now that we know who he's running against and what people may or may not do.
Flipping Texas and flipping Georgia will be super important.
Exactly. So, and
And we're like,
this is where going into the midterms, well, like the burn it all down thing. I hear you, bro, but there needs to be like shit is already burning. Like, so like we are already rebuilding while we're burning. That's how I look at it. We need people like Tarico in there and we need to talk about it. We need to expose Stephen Miller and what he's been doing. Like we're burning already. Niggers are feeling the heat. Let me see if I can find a clip because Tom Massey, who's a Republican, who has been working with Ro Khanna and people in the Democratic Party across the aisle to release the Epstein files, he lost, bro, because Trump and APAC put a whole bunch of money behind some random, and they beat him out there in Kentucky. Now, uh, what's his name? What's his fucking name? Andrew Schultz, who was a dick licking Trump supporter, had some words on that. So I want you to just see it's not just that. So more information. Even people who met Trump and you know are looking at this like this is ridiculous. People are fucking dumb. Was against this shit. Understands that he even understands that there is an uphill battle when it comes to changing the minds of people, but at least his mind is being changed, and he has a platform, you know. So I want you to as I talk about this stuff, and yeah, they're ripping away our SNAP benefits for people who are elderly, people who are disenfranchised, and all this stuff. When there's only 1% of fraud in SNAP, let's get that clear, and that's not going to close the freaking federal budget. It's going to tell you that so you can push another fucking anti-immigration policy and use Somalians as a scapegoat. As that's going on, we have people who are kind of waking up a little bit, who are a little bit, huh? You say something?
I said, okay.
You know?
Yeah, I said, oh, yeah, I said, you say you got people waking up again, and my again, we had the argument about Kevin Hart yesterday, Is it for the greater good or is it individualism?
Yeah.
Right? Are you
Uh-huh.
waking up? Are you waking up because it's impacting you, or are you waking up because oh, this is the right thing to do and this impacting humanity and I'm now a good person?
Yeah, and I can't speak to,
No, I hear you, but
that.
and I know by the result or the means that the means doesn't necessarily always justify the ends, or the ends don't always justify the means, whichever one you want to put it that way,
Yeah.
as long as the results change. But my thing is that, to your point, Trump being a glitch in the matrix, bro, literally has caused an incursion, right? Like you like the worlds have collide as to warped reality and real reality of different worlds, right? Because once Trump gets elected the first time, we're like, ah, shit, okay, anything is possible. When he gets elected the second time, that's evil. Like that's
Yeah,
not
it
ignorance.
is.
That's not like let me
Mhm.
try and I don't like politicians. All they do is lie and stuff like that. This is full fledged. I am don't tread on me. Blue lives matter. All of the virtual signaling of like how the fuck did blue lives matter? It start because we said Black Lives Matter. Bitch, we ain't out here killing police like we really talk about. Like like I'm gonna keep it a buck, nigga. Like niggas talk a lot of Drake lyrics when it comes to the police, and they don't bust a grape. So I
Yeah,
don't
but who's the
really
last
see.
person talking about killing the police like that? Like in a rap song, like as like yeah, we had the "Fuck the Police" song, which honestly was a big song at the time that was like anti-police, but really trying to expose the realities of the over policing done in Compton and shit. But since then, they've been running on that shit for damn near 3 decades, bro. So
Because it ain't like niggas went out here and killed cops after Rodney King, cuz.
yeah, yeah.
It
Sometimes
ain't
you
like
like
niggas killed cops after Freddie Gray. Niggas ain't killed cops after Eric Gardner. Niggas
uh
ain't killed cops over Philando Castile.
yeah,
Niggas ain't killed cops over fucking Breonna Taylor. Niggas ain't killed cops over goddamn Mike Brown. Niggas ain't killed cops over my man George Floyd. Them niggas ain't dying, bro.
yeah. So the Blue Lives Matter shit is just a veil at diminishing a black voice, which is what the playbook is in this country. Like sometimes I realize, like, I wonder sometimes, is there any place on this earth where um, the the black person's sovereignty is taken seriously? You know, and the black,
No, because even if a black American goes to Africa, he won't have the respect. A black American man go to London, he won't have the respect. A black American man
first of all,
goes to
Africa
fucking
is
Asian.
very much like
Well, no,
very different
I'm
countries,
saying as a black. I said a black American man, a black American
but there
man.
are places in
Like
Africa where you can. There was a vote on condemning slavery in the UN, and a ton of countries voted in favor of that condemnation at the UN. If you haven't heard about that, and most of the countries are African, and there was Peru on there, there's Colombia was on there. Who wasn't on there was the fucking USA. So I want people to realize this, like, there are places that recognize, the sovereignty of being a black man in this world. um, I just hope that it gets better over time, and I so when you just say no flippantly like that, like you don't know everywhere,
well,
and
no,
there's a lot of
that's
ignorance here in
true.
America that they don't know about Africa, they don't know about other places that and how
No,
people are being treated.
you saying so that's my okay. So that would be my point. So to the information that you have in the sovereignty of of the black plight, what do those what now that's probably my research, bro. What was that vote on? What do they do? What is their because to now their point go somewhere where you're appreciated,
Yeah.
right? Like to their point, go somewhere where you're appreciated. and they're the derogatory of go back to Africa. Nigga, I'm not from Africa. I don't want to go to a place of sovereignty outside of where the fuck I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be
Yeah.
an exile. I
Well,
don't want
three
to have to.
countries: the United States, of course, Israel, and Argentina, for some reason, voted against the March 2026 UN General Assembly resolution, led by Ghana, which is Ghana. Honestly, I'm Nigerian. We're right next to Ghana. If I recommend anybody to go to Africa, go to Ghana first. Don't just jump into Nigeria. That's like you need to be like hardcore, you know, African to deal with the assault you're gonna get immediately when you land, of like them trying to take your money. Like like just niggas in Nigerian airport will give themselves a job to carry your bags and expect you to pay them once you get to the car, no matter what you do. They're gonna give themselves a job. You didn't ask. No, they're just gonna grab your bags and say, "Yes, sir. I'm taking your bags. I got you. I got you. I'll help you." And if you don't take your bag back, they're gonna expect the payment when you get to that car. And if you don't
So
have any
you
money
got
for them,
so
there's gonna
you
be a
gotta
problem.
so you gotta walk into when you step down to Nigeria. You gotta grab your bags and be your own concierge
Yeah,
service,
for
my
real.
nigga.
Like if you don't got money to pay, oh yeah, oh yeah. And trust me, if somebody's gonna try to get some money out of you, even if it's just begging, like, hey, just give me. I didn't do nothing for you. Just please, like so that's how it is. Like like they just know that you or akata, or oyibo if you're white, it's oyibo if you're black American, akata. You are American. Like so they're gonna see it. They can see it in your fashion. They can see it in your face. They already know, like, all right, there's my target right there. So Ghana's a little bit more westernized a little bit. They still got their issues too, but it's a lot more and I haven't even been, but from what I've heard and what I've seen, I definitely want to visit Ghana. Ghana's a beautiful place, and to have beautiful people, and I do think that it's a lot cleaner. I think that Lagos, Nigeria, at least. I know Abuja is a lot cleaner, but Lagos, Nigeria is like New York City, bro. It is flat out New York City, but with in Africa. But yeah. So like the ignorance we have and say, "Oh, there's no place for black people. Just give up." Like I'm tired of that. That's why I do this pod, bro. I'm tired of that sentiment. And doing it with you is great because I get to have that reflected sometimes of like our opposing views on things. Because the more and more I realize and learn, the more and more I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You know what? There is a counter argument to these things because I can feel hopeless, but then I'll
But
find
bro,
myself.
I can't go to Peru married with kids. I gotta
You
leave
gotta
them
take
niggas here.
you gotta take your kids with you, bro.
No, no, nigga. I got
Take
I
your
gotta
wife
see
and
what Peru.
kids.
I gotta see what Peru look like by myself one time. Then
My brother just actually came back from Peru a couple months ago, so he's been
let,
out there.
let me
It's
let me check out the landscape and
yeah,
see what's going on in Peru.
but yeah, it was led by Ghana, but 123 countries voted in favor of the resolution. 52 countries, including the UK, European Union, members of the states, abstained. They didn't even vote. So the UK, European Union, we're not going to say nothing. Like, nigga, what?
Yeah,
This is
yeah. No, no,
slavery
no,
we're
no,
talking
no,
about.
no, no, no. That fits them though. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I am ignorant to that. I am ignorant to what you brought on, but to
You know
my
what? This should
lack of
have been a
knowledge.
bigger topic because I actually have some videos on this too. But we can bring it up tomorrow or something. But I don't have it on my computer right now. But
No,
I
that's
wanted to bring
fine.
this
But
up.
my lack of knowledge of that's why I was bringing up the European. We talk about the diaspora all the time about how we have a lack of understanding between one another, and so when you say that we have sovereignty there, and I know that we fight here, like that, it plays in part
There's a
of my
bunch of
of my
propaganda that's anti. Yo, just go watch YouTubers who've gone to Africa and their experience. Go watch I Show Speed.
I shall
Go
see.
watch I Show
Yeah,
Speed and just
yeah.
and
That's
tell
what
me
made me.
that black people get no love or they don't like us there. They don't respect us. That's bullshit. Like if you disrespect people, you're gonna get disrespected for sure. But if you're there, you're here to appreciate the culture. It's not American culture, but you're here to learn. You're not here to just you know tell them some bullshit. Like there's a lot of respect for your elders. There's a lot of natural qualities that are just ingrained in black culture. Period. And a lot of times, black Americans want to separate and say, "No, black." history started with black Americans who were slaves. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I get that, but no. These slaves came from somewhere, and a lot of the ingrained foods that you guys do, the dances were passed down for generations and thousands of, and centuries. So, yes, on some level, there is a foundational black American experience. But on some levels, there is a direct diaspora that we have to connect with that sometimes and realize, yo, go back to the motherland and see how somebody down the street looks just like you and smokes weed just like you and talks just like you, but with a little bit of an accent. It's honestly uncanny. So I just hope people can give it a little bit more experience and not be so flippant about Africa, really.
Well, I think that plays into the part of why we have, because I know I experienced this with my wife and her Caribbean family. You know what I'm saying? Because pops is from Guyana, mom's from Jamaica. So like they call me Yankee, and they don't believe in American, like morals or ethics or whatever the case may be, because we're lumped in. So to your same point of ignorance about Africa, and the connection that we have with the
And there's ignorance about Black Americans too. Like I want to
but
put
that
that out there too. But
but
like I think that's what
and I think
causes some of the
I think
division
that's
is
what
this
call I think that's what
perspective
call
that,
exactly.
oh, you don't really care about me, oh, you think you're better than me, oh, you think that, oh, you think that I don't know, like, and it's like, nah, we gonna have your jokes just like you roast in your hood, nigga. All Black people roast each other, and they're gonna say something that, like if I go to Nigeria, they're gonna roast me for my accent. They're gonna roast me for my accent. I'm Nigerian. Like I am Nigerian through and through. I just born in Jersey, bro, and grew up in New York. That's it. And they gonna crack on me and how
So
I say
they
water.
gonna say
Like
no, you're not new. They gonna say no, you're not Nigerian. You know what I'm
not to
saying?
that extent. Maybe they're gonna sometimes. I think that people have said that. Don't get me wrong, but you gotta ignore that shit, bro. Like you gotta ignore that shit. You know who you are. You know what you stand for. But a lot of times, I'm more Nigerian than some people who grew up there because I care about, okay, how do we make this better? How do we improve? How can I help? I genuinely am not. I'm not. It's the same thing about being American for me. It's like I'm not taking the circumstances that are given to me and saying, "Well, this sucks. Everything here sucks. I need to leave and go to somewhere where I'm appreciated." No, I want to freaking make this better. That's
Yeah,
what a
I
lot
think
of
that's where I was coming.
you
I think
know.
that's where I was coming from. I'm like, I don't want to leave for sovereignty. I either want to find it here, or I want to see what them other niggas did. I want to see what Haiti did. I want to see what the French Revolution did. I want to see what I
Well,
want to at least
that
be
is
in the
bloodshed.
experiment of
That is
that.
bloodshed. And if you want to see that, you are likely going to put your family at risk and your life on the line. And if you're prepared for that, then so be it. But that's full blown revolution. And guess what? We don't have the numbers to overthrow this government. If even it, and there's a lot of coonery, buffoonery, bullshit going on in this country. So
What?
let's take out 5% of these Black people who wouldn't fight in a war.
Okay.
Let's say, that leaves what, 8% of people that are in this country that will be like, all right, Black people who want to fight for our rights. Yeah, and that goes against all the niggas that voted for Trump, the 77 million that voted for Trump that have guns already and have all the money and have the million-dollar industrial complex and all the $1 billion with like Elon Musk, who are going to call us all thugs and say, let's throw in the military and to your city and let's quell the
But
uprising.
that's what I'm.
Like
But
that's what
that's
you're
what I'm
looking at.
saying. If we have that's my point. We have people right now taking orders in the military that don't fuck with why they're taking the orders.
That's their fault.
They don't. That how that's okay. Okay,
Now,
so it's
granted, you
I'm
got
not.
some people have
I'm
choices to make based on what
I'm
the
not
choice they
person.
have.
When we get the rolling, cause shit be happening with our audio, video be blanking
Visual,
out. Cause
yeah,
on my
man.
soul, nigga, when we get cracking, nigga, they don't really be fucking with us like that, bro.
But to put a pin on the other conversation though, yes, I think that people just want to be aware what's going on with the big beautiful bill and the pulling back of your SNAP benefits of your WIC, and understand that they're lying to you about the fraud, and that's the reason why the budget is not going to get put together. It's 1% of fraud happening in the entire country. Most of it does not come from Minneapolis and the Somalis. Most of it comes from California and New York, because they're the largest, countries. I mean, sorry, almost countries, because honestly, California is like the third largest economy in the world after Russia and China. So kind of its own country in a sense. But that's where most of the fraud takes place. So just keep that in mind. So when they're saying to you, "Hey, we're going to fix the budget," while they're doing a, was it $400 million ballroom, like, and they're saying they're
Oh, no, we're talking about a $2 billion slush fund,
a
or
$2 billion slush fund.
you
And
paid the president $1.67 billion when he sued the DOJ for 10 billion. Like, like
So this
we.
guy Stephen Miller is flat out lying about the corruption that he's talking about, saying this is the most corruption we've ever seen on the face of. They are consistently, hyperbolically lying to you guys while they completely rob the federal government of 2 billion, 1.5 million, 400 going to a ballroom, and saying that no, the problem is not that corruption. The problem actually is people getting food stamps. It's
Well, yeah.
ridiculous.
It's kind of it's. Yeah, they're the most glorified. Realistically, for the sports analogies, they're glorified GMs, team presidents. I have to go out there and talk in front of the fans and the media and the cameras
And
and
sell
tell
this
everybody
bullshit.
what my owners say. Hey, we're not trading uh Devon Achan. We're gonna sign him to a little contract, and then guess what we're gonna do to that nigga next year? Trade his ass. You know what
We'll
I'm
see.
saying? Like we going to trade. Nigga, we can't build around no running back. You know what I mean? Of course, I'm lying to you right now, brother. You know what
But
I'm saying?
no, but yeah, we are genuinely getting fucked over by this administration, and I don't care who, if you like that or not. I don't care if you think that it's racist, saying that this this administration is racist. It is, and that's why I say go Google it. Do your research, please, people. It's not about me doing all the research and proving to you that this administration is racist. Do your research. Stephen Miller is a proven neo-Nazi, bro, and he's telling us what to do with the money that we put our tax dollars into, and he's completely ignoring the corruption
But I think when we
he's
talk
completely
about
ignoring
white,
the president's corruption. But go ahead.
no, I'm sorry. I was saying I think when we talk about white nationalists, neo Nazis, white supremacists, like we're speaking to niggas' souls, bro.
I
Like we're
want, yeah, I
speaking
want
to.
people to see that though, because I want I want people to realize that if you support the Trump administration and the director of I'm sorry, let me explain that. Let me say it one more time. The deputy chief of staff and the leader of the Homeland Security Advisor, Stephen Miller, you find out that he is a white supremacist and a white nationalist, and you're okay with that, then your soul is in question. And I want you to just admit it. Your soul is in question if you support Trump, his bigotry, and his bigoted cabinet. Stephen Miller is a white nationalist. Period. And he's cutting food stamps for people, and he's lying to you about the corruption. He's lying to you about how that can
But
close
this
the
is.
budget, while there's a $2 billion slush fund for Donald Trump to hand out to
But this is
other
why I
neo
was.
Nazis. So
But this is why I was
your
saying.
soul's in
This is why I
question,
was like, let
and I
them
want you
burn
to
though.
recognize that and hopefully understand that, hey, if you support that, you support, and just be honest, you support neo-Nazi as a country, and
What?
don't try to act like this is not a racist administration. That's all I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to just finish my thought because I really need to drive it home. I really need to drive it home that co-signing this stuff is not debatable, because people are. I watched a segment that people were mad that people are divorcing their Trump or MAGA family members. People are like, oh my God, these liberals are really breaking up their friendships, and they're not talking to their families because they support Trump. Yes, Yes, yes. You cannot you cannot be friends with or be family with and have a good relationship with somebody who completely fundamentally goes against your moral beliefs as a human being. And it's not debatable at this point. We already went through the first Trump administration. If you're sitting here on the fence about Trump, you're the problem.
So
Period.
why you fight back on me about division? Why you fight back on me about divisiveness? Why you fight back on me about punching one of these? Like, why do you fight back on me then?
I
Like
never.
what?
What do you
You
mean
like?
fighting
Well,
back?
yes, yeah, yeah,
Tell
you
me
do.
this
You
back.
fight back on you fight back on me when I say those niggas need to be killed off. Like I don't like I don't. This is my. I say what the fuck I want to hear. I don't know why you fight back on me when I say that when a motherfucker is supports a white national fucking person and them niggas are on food stamps with the Confederate flag, that them niggas should fucking figure it out. This is the only time that them niggas gonna figure out that what they think and how they have an ideology is like this is the only time that they will be able where I live in my neck of the woods in Florida. His home. This is home turf for this nigga where I'm at. Like so, and when you talk about niggas operating under a thumb, we're talking about Mark Rubio, who is on it was in his cabinet, who comes from Florida. We talking about Rick Scott. We talk about fucking Ron DeSantis. We talking about the Pelosi, the Pelosi's. Nigga, they own the Orlando Magic. Like nigga, Florida is his home base. So when I am surrounded by red, when I'm looking at that voting thing in November of all the counties, those are the counties that are going to be affected by his deputy.
Uh,
It's them. It's the swamp. It's the Everglades. It's Hillsborough County. It's Polk County. It's motherfucking Marion County. It's all of these
this
counties
guy is
that
absolutely evil, and you're right. If you're supporting all these people, they deserve some level of retribution. I guess I pushed back on that they must all die because I don't do know that you're SWAT. There's not only them that gets dragged into the complete depths of hell when it comes to the advancement of this society, this world. And I do think that Florida will have a bunch of raised, just problems when it comes to the economy more than maybe even in New York City. We talk about all the taxes and everything. I think that the imagine the suffering that will come from that for people that who are like us who didn't vote for Trump. That's what I think of a lot of the times.
well I
Yeah, there's
and
a
I and I'm sorry, but I'm not I'm not despicable to speak about that fucked up ass joke. But I am looking up from hell right now. I am. So when you say that, and I am innocent, my family's innocent, my neighbor's innocent, my neighborhood is innocent, my community is innocent, my local Publix is innocent, my family dollar is innocent. Like the kids that are going to school right, they are innocent,
yeah.
and we are already there. The niggas who are not in hell are the niggas that I am telling to open up the bottom. You don't have to die, figuratively. I mean literally, but figuratively. I want you to experience what it's like for me, not a
Good.
black American, not a black man, not the racial shit, from a fucking societal aspect of nigga, I'm fucked up in this economy. And nigga, you are too. The only reason why you don't know that you fucked up is because you dumb. But it's gonna be a point in time where the shit, like in the ocean, when you're in the water and that current comes up, and you cannot motherfucker then you can't be neck up and look at me drown no more. There will be upon a time where that current wash over your head, motherfucker, and me and you both are underwater. And then at that point in time, it's either you gonna be real diabolical and you gonna make and see me drown, or me and you both gonna look each other in the motherfucker eyes as we try to survive, and we gonna motherfucker swim up together.
All right. I feel you, brother. And we might be needing to prepare for that because welcome to the dark ages. We have not hit. You say you're in hell now. We haven't hit that yet. What I'm
Yeah.
talking about, we haven't even hit yet.
Yeah.
I'm talking about $14, bread. I'm talking about $20 bread. That's what I'm trying to talk about. That's where we're going.
But I mean, with that, maybe we will get back to, I don't know, barter system. Hey man, let me fuck your wife. I'll get a loaf of bread for you.
I tried. I tried.
Brother, we've been here for 45 minutes. I had to get us. Up.
Nah, you're right. You're right. I guess the bright side of it all, guys, is that maybe we'll get to fuck somebody's wife for some bread.
Hey, Whack 100, Adam 22, cuz.
Oh my God, Lord, have mercy, bro. What's next on the docket, brother?
I know you mentioned your boy Mondani, and I got a little video I'm gonna share with you. Give me 1 second. All right, let me raise the volume up, and let's end on a positive note with your boy Mondani in New York. Let me know when you're ready for me.
No, okay.
Oh, all right.
Block by block, let the largest city in the nation deliver the largest municipal housing transformation this country has ever seen. Our housing plan meets this crisis with the scale and urgency it demands. The first plank of our plan is all about building. Over the next decade, city government will build 200,000 new, affordable, rent-stabilized homes. Second, I am proud to announce that we will preserve and stabilize an additional 200,000 homes. And they will be made possible by historic $22 billion capital investment over 5 years. The second plank of our housing plan includes some of the strongest and most expansive tenant protections anywhere in the United States of America. And as we empower tenants, we will place a special emphasis on those in the Bronx. I am proud to announce a legislative task force to overhaul our city's outdated housing maintenance code. We will also improve how 311 logs and investigates complaints. And we will support New Yorkers as they organize with their neighbors. If you form a tenant union, the city will stand with you. Finally, through our new citywide campaign, Fix the City, we will focus on the worst landlords in New York City. When necessary, we will take aggressive legal action to remove negligent owners and property managers. The third core plank of our plan is years overdue. We will deliver the transformative investments that public housing has long needed, but not received. City Hall will rewrite a legacy of neglect with the largest city capital commitment to NYCHA in decades. $5.6 billion over 5 years. We will prove that government can deliver on the solutions to the toughest problems, not just debate them.
That's fire, bro.
From nigga, where this nigga getting all his money from? Cuz
Hey,
this
man,
nigga said 22 over 5 years, 5.7 over 5. This nigga got NFL cap money, nigga.
Listen, man, I think these cities make a lot more money through taxes than they let on, to be quite honest with you. And I
Especially
think,
New York,
especially New York. So I'm not surprised, to be quite honest with you. I think that he's a guy who's a man of his word. who honestly said he's gonna go in there. Oh my bad. He said he's gonna go. He said he's gonna go into New York and make it more affordable. And he's intentional about it. He's publicizing it as he goes along. That's the cool thing about it is that he's holding himself accountable the entire time. um, People are just mad, yo. People are just mad that he's doing the like. I was worried that when he said, okay, rent stabilized houses and all that stuff. I'm like, cool, cool, that's good, that's good, that's good. But I was like, what about the public housing? Like these projects out here have not been worked on in like years, like decades, you know. So I was worried about the people who are growing up in the projects out here in the Bronx and Queens and Brooklyn, and I'm wondering like, okay, that's cool, but how are we going to help them out if their plumbing is not working and if their elevator's been broken for years that they got to walk down like freaking 14 flights of stairs, 20 flights of stairs just to get to work. They got to leave early, hella early, just to make the train. That kind of stuff I was really concerned with. When he said the 5.5 million to or billion of public housing, I was really like encouraged by that because when he talks about helping out the least of people in the working class, a lot of them come from the projects. So it's great to make rent like private housing, and I love that too. Don't get me wrong, but I just hope he wasn't gonna neglect the projects because if he did, then I'm telling you, black and brown people would have just turned on this nigga for real. I think, because yeah, you're helping everybody else, but I really changed my life per se. So I just hope the plan goes, everything goes according to plan over the next couple of years, and that we start to see
Well, see, this all
change
depends
over
now.
time.
This all we talked about playing the game, right? Like, will it come into play because he endorsed Kathy? You know what I'm saying? Will he still be able to get this funding if a new governor steps in, a governor that he didn't endorse? You know
I
what
don't
I'm
think it's gonna
saying?
happen. I
Like,
think now that he endorsed Kathy and
you
Kathy
think
throwing
Kathy
that,
wins?
she opened the budget a little bit. She throwing that on that cash. I think I think she's gonna win. You know, I know she said she didn't want to
You been
endorse.
listening to Young Miami? Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin it.
For real, man. Put Kathy on a Young Miami for real. She's gonna listen, cause that's what she's doing, man. She's spending that shit, bro. So yeah, we're gonna keep tabs on Mandani, but this is where we see that our money's working for us, and I think we get to a point where we are apathetic because we feel like we have been asking for stuff and we can't get it. But this is why the midterms really count this year. Like you gotta get in the right candidates. Yo,
Yep.
Florida, bro. Like I know the redistricting happened and all that stuff, but yo, y'all need to step up and fight back, bro. Like I know it's crazy out there, bro, but y'all need to
Boy,
step up.
it's tough out here cause for Florida, cause Florida midterms. Let me see what we got, man. Florida midterm elections. Let's check and see where we at right now, how fucked up it is, okay?
Like you
Um
said, Georgia, Texas, those, and Michigan. I'm really curious about those, man. Those are going to be
yeah.
interesting.
Uh damn, I don't even want so we got for what happened? I
Nothing.
missed
He
something.
said, "Damn, I don't even want to like what you see."
Oh, cause I'm on Ballotpedia and they like put your address in. I'm like, not really. I'm all right. I live in Florida. That's all you need to know. So governors, um, yeah, it's a little, uh, it's a whole bunch of names. Uh, Jewel, not really familiar. This is real time stuff, people. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, man, Florida for governor, Florida for um, for um, forgot what I was. Yeah, yeah, we got Senate, House. we struggling over here, boy. I don't even think that it's tough to live in, and I think that's the apathetic stuff about Florida when you say about the new districting, because there's only a few districts in Florida, a few counties in Florida that served as the majority.
Yeah,
Like
now they
Orange
fucked it up.
County, Seminole County, you know what I'm saying? Like even Miami Dade, you know what I'm saying? But if you redistrict to some people in Broward,
Broward,
if
yeah.
you redistrict some people to fucking Fort Lauderdale, you know what I'm saying? If you redistrict, you know what I mean? Like if you just redistrict some people, just like with school, you know what I mean? You fuck around and they redistrict a nigga's address and school. Now you don't go to the school up the street. You gotta take a bus and go,
This dude,
45
bro.
minutes. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you can really be playing with a nigga, not
But
just seats in the house, but like, yeah, you
but yeah. Listen, when you get a chance, just take a look and see what races are actually possible to get a Democrat in there. Like just even if it's like three, like three people out there that can be a mayor or you know a governor, not the governor, but I mean a mayor of a county. Maybe we can keep an eye on them and see what see what they do, what the place that they're advocating for. Obviously you are surrounded by a bunch of MAGA sharks, and I get it, but I would love if Florida woke the fuck up one day and fought back tremendously. Because let's be real, there's a lot of rope to fight back when it comes to this Trump administration that
yeah,
we
I
can
mean,
run on.
you see what our attorney general is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
He's subpoenaed Roger Goodell.
yeah,
You see where our priorities at down here in Florida.
yeah, yeah. Stupid as shit, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Our priorities all fucked up.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of rope to battle on this Trump shit and go against him. If they can do it in Georgia, if they can do it in Texas, then there's a
They
way
got to say
to
how my
fight.
man Stephen
Now,
A said. Six.
Texas, and if James Hillary wins, would you move to Texas?
Honestly, probably. Me and wifey, we fucked around and talked about her a few times. She got a good friend that stay out there
Shit,
in
I might go
Texas.
follow you guys for real, bro. Like, I'm
Yeah, I
hearing a
might.
lot of good things about Texas. I know some people out there too, but and the taxes, obviously, situation, everything like that is better. Like,
Texas is similar to Florida.
so,
The
yeah,
thing about it is that they did have that one bad snowstorm, and the houses ain't meant for the infrastructure, and the pipes froze, and the houses is made of wood. So then the houses just when it flood, you know what I mean. So there are certain things that you take you take the good
I
with the
mean,
bad.
I got hit with a hurricane immediately when I got to Florida. So, and I had no power for a whole week.
Yeah,
So,
it's,
and
it get
our apartment 603 was flooded, and I just fucking had to deal with that shit. And then I have to deal with flooding at my other complex every single time that it rained. So there's gonna be something, but I'm sure there's workarounds when it comes to those times of the year. I hope. I mean, the weather's been weird. Like I get it. Like
the
Texas is not
weather's
prepared
we're like in a
for.
drought now. Oh, well, speaking of Florida, DeSantis, he did something good. No data centers down here. You know what I'm saying? He signed off on no data centers down here because you can't don't fuck with our water. We're in a drought, nigga, and that's one thing. One thing Florida need. One thing Florida do. We are in days. Hey, cuz, y'all can be don't tread on me and fly all these Trump flags all you want, but no fucking data centers down here, cuz.
No, that's good. That's good. I got hand it to him. That's good. That's good. We gotta fight back to that because
um,
they're getting crazy
yeah,
with
that
that data center bullshit, dog.
yeah, super, super crazy. But we, shout out to niggas like us who use it, it ain't going in vain. Hey, just want to let y'all know if y'all not having no water, it ain't going in vain with us. We making sure y'all have no water for a reason. You know what I'm saying? We looking up how to change the world with AI. You know what I mean? we gonna replenish your water for the water that we take back right now.
We gonna figure it out.
We gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna make a honest exchange with our knowledge and our information.
Wow, this nigga just gave me a crazy transition. An honest exchange of knowledge and information is definitely not what the Washington Nationals would do.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
I'm a big fan, and I'm a big sports fan, so I'm always gonna bring the sports scandals onto the show. Whether it's basketball Illuminati stuff of if LeBron James going back to Cleveland, or or if it's contract talks of fucking Shador Sanders and Deshaun Jackson with the Cleveland Browns, or if it's baseball talk with a highly touted executive of a Major League Baseball team who is the director of military affairs and also serves as his title, the director of community relations. He got caught on camera like most people do, because hey, why not run your mouth when you're in front of a bad bitch? You know what I'm saying? So most of these things happen when people are caught on dates, stings with women who do not mind smiling in your face and recording your conversations as you talk.
What was that? The Lakers. Was it the Lakers?
Which one?
The one who was
Which
worried
one?
about his girl messing with black dudes. The NBA owner that had to relinquish his team.
Oh, it was the Clippers. It was Donald
Clippers.
Sterling.
Okay. Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like Magic Johnson. What does he ever do? He's got AIDS.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy, yo. That is wild.
And all his punishment was is that he could be an owner. He got paid $1.2 billion for his franchise to walk away. Now he did have to split that up and divvy that up and everything like that, but he made out like a bandit because I think he bought the Clippers for $10 million.
So he owns the Clippers now? Oh no, he made out. Okay, he's good now.
He made out. Yeah, he made out.
Okay,
Yeah, back in the day when he bought the Clippers, for like 10 mil or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
So
Be nice.
yeah, must be nice to be a racist and cash out.
Sure.
So I'm gonna play 2 minutes of this video, and all you gonna need is 2 minutes of this video to see where this motherfucking guy is going. And then we can kind of talk about how everything is continually to be daunting and exasperating and dreadful. Here we go.
I am on the community relations team, so like corporate social responsibility.
The director of community relations for the Washington Nationals of the MLB reveals unethical behavior within the management of the Washington baseball team, including religious discrimination against a starting pitcher.
One of our pitchers, dude Trevor Williams, he is very Catholic. The Dodgers had a group out to the stadium who were drag queens who sometimes dressed up as nuns. He went on like a social media like, this is wrong, this is my religion, you all are mocking it. Because of that, we don't use him on social. Like when they're like, is a hot dog a sandwich? And like the players come up, you know what I mean? Like we don't ask him.
Potentially a violation of Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Sean then also reveals the Nationals Park is executing a surveillance strategy on Washington Nationals fans.
If you ever come to a Nats game, there is someone on our team who is responsible for figuring out everything about you. We're getting the plethora of your Google history.
And claiming they're, quote, using baseball to make money by selling out to Palantir-like defense contractors.
We're trying to use baseball to make money. And a lot of that is like defense contractors, the Palantirs of the world.
Then he goes on to claim that some corporate meetings are segregated as women only or gay only.
They would be well within their rights to say if you don't identify as a member of the LGBTQIA plus population, you shouldn't be at this specific meeting. There are some spaces that should only be for those people.
And even discloses that he has a secret agenda to promote communism to Nationals fans.
There is a join the Communist Party poster up in my kitchen. I would love to find ways to, every home run is a $100 donation. That's communism, you know what I mean? That's redistributing someone's wealth. And a lot of people will tell you, when I come to a baseball game, I don't want to think about that shit. If you're a sports fan and we piss you off, where else are you going to go? Either way, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. If you're a sports fan and we piss you off, where else are you going to go? So when we talk about the escapism that sports presents to people, when we have the let's leave politics out of sports, when we have the shut up and dribble, when we have all of that, somehow in the last week we come across this jackass and Boomer Esiason being a goddamn cum swallower his damn self. And I'm pretty sure that Boomer Esiason will not say what he said in front of Abdul Carter, who I believe measurables are what, 6'4", 250?
Okay, well, you
maybe?
gotta first let me know what Boomer said, because I'm not sure what you're referring to, and I love the
You
audience
don't,
to know.
oh, you don't know what Boomer Esiason said?
No.
Okay, well then how you a sports fan? Jesus.
Because I watch
So
sports and I don't pay attention to Boomer Esiason. Like I don't like follow him during the off season.
I don't follow him either. But as the Jackson Dart thing comes into the zeitgeist, as we presented yesterday of Jackson Dart introducing the president,
Mm-hmm.
Abdul Carter had his I guess adverse thoughts to them, questions, and Boomer Esiason on his nationally recognized radio show and television show that got clipped up with millions of followers and views to be disseminated on the internet that came across my algorithm, was caught stating and saying how Abdul Carter, in so many words, was a pussy.
For what? For saying that he thought this was AI?
For saying yes, for causing and matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna do you one better, my brother.
Thank
I'm
you.
about to find it. Because like,
It's because he
Is
said that
that-
he was like thought it was AI. Then he's like, oh, we talked about it like Ben. Like that's real.
yeah, we talked about it like men. So you heard it. We talked about it like men, and then Boomer Esiason said
I didn't hear Boomer
well,
Esiason. I heard Abdul Carter say that. I
Okay,
heard
so-
that he said it. I didn't hear Boomer
Yeah,
Esiason. Like,
so when they said that we talked, when he said we talked to each other like men, Boomer Esiason said that there was only one man on that phone, and that phone was Jackson Dart. And I'm gonna go
Where the
ahead and
fuck would
play
be
it for you.
And some guys didn't want to go to the
Here we
will
go.
get an opportunity to do something. This was a real error on the part of Abdul Carter, not on the part of Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart was asked to do something to introduce the president of the United States. How many people get an opportunity to do something like that, regardless of who the president is? You may not like, you may have hated Barack Obama. You may have hated Joe Biden.
this is
And some guys didn't want to go to the White House because they didn't like those presidents, just like other guys didn't want to go to the White House because they didn't like President Trump. But to put this out like a child on social media is ridiculous. And then when I heard, we spoke man to man. Yeah, there was only one man on that call, and that was Jackson Dart. You were a man who was late to meetings. You were a man who didn't live up to your draft choice. You're a man who wanted to wear number 56. And by the way, your idol, number 56, has introduced Donald Trump numerous times. So I don't want to hear this. So he made another just boneheaded error by going to social media.
I I know this is
What
not
do
your
you say to
topic.
that?
I know this is not your topic. But Boomer Esiason, shut your bitch ass up. Honestly, don't get out here and start talking to Abdul Carter because you're offended that he had a conversation with his quarterback and he was questioning his allegiance to Donald Trump. At the end of the day, this is not the same thing as Joe Biden. This is not the same thing as Barack Obama. And I'm tired of the narrative of people. This is what I'm talking about. This reality that we're living that, oh, this is just a president. No. Actively look at what this president is doing and why people would be upset with Jackson Dart introducing him, especially now, after people have died because of ICE, after people have died because of an unprovoked war, after he's completely corrupted our Federal Reserve and taken $2 billion in a slush fund. Like, these are the things that I keep saying it, the cognitive dissonance of these bitch ass Trump supporters that have no idea what's going on. And then when people want to criticize the man, completely ignore that there's real shit going on in the world that maybe people have an issue with if you sit by this guy. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let me land, nigga. Let me land when I'm talking.
I know I'm letting you land, but I gotta speak up for the white man, brother.
Oh,
They don't like
God.
Barack Obama because he didn't wear it. Listen, man. They don't like Barack Obama because he wore a tan suit, man. See what I'm saying? He wore a tan suit. He offended them. He wore a tan suit, my nigga. He changed the tennis court to a basketball court. Do you see the defecation of the White House that nigga did, dude? Do you understand what Barack Obama did to the white people? Do you understand that these white people were offended that a black man was the president? Nigga, do you not understand the fucking warpness of their reality when they had to motherfucking salute and yes, sir, a black man? Do you not know the mental trauma that they went through?
You know what?
Do you not understand?
You know what? I didn't look at it that way. You know, not now that you put it in perspective. A tan suit does have its downsides, you know, and I can see why you wouldn't want to introduce.
I
Barack
get
Obama.
triggered when I see tan all the time, bro.
You know, at the basketball court, you know, yeah.
Yeah, who wants all that niggerish stuff at the White House, bro?
Yeah, you know,
basketball, really?
What we really need is like, you know, $20 million in a ballroom that, you know, is not going to be really used like that. I get it. Like, you know what? You're right. Maybe I was a little harsh on Boomer and his bitch ass.
No, man.
I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of this shit, bro. Like, I'm sick of this shit, bro.
It is what it is, yeah.
Get rid of these niggas. Like, for real. Like, like honestly,
I'm so tired.
I'm tired of these niggas, bro. Like, for real. Like, when it comes to these Trump supporters that will sit here and act like this is normal. Like, this shit is not normal. You guys were sitting here mad about fucking Hillary Clinton emails. This nigga's in the Epstein files, bro. Like, pedophilia. Like, the worst thing you could possibly do. This guy is all over that bitch. And he's not releasing the rest of them. And ran on the campaign that he's going to release that shit. Like, let's stop acting like Trump is a normal president. We are talking about somebody who's likening himself to a god on his fucking Truth Social post. He's a guy who said he's going to wipe out a whole civilization in Iran on a whim on Easter, who just actually bombed him again. And we just talked about a ceasefire yesterday. And that shit's over.
Hey, Obama dropped airstrikes, man.
Listen,
right?
Listen, airstrikes. I have a problem with the drone strikes, but Trump doubled them in his first administration. So let's keep it a buck. I'm anti-war. So I'm anti-white all the time, including Obama. I'm not sitting here trying to say, well, Obama is different. No. Listen, Obama has issues with the drone strikes as well. But guess what? Biden gave money. Listen, I don't give a fuck about Obama and Biden. They're not our president right now. I do not want to hear shit about Obama and Biden when Trump is in office right now. We got to hold him accountable right now. That's it. I don't give a fuck about Biden. I don't want to hear shit about Obama. This is decades ago, bro. We are actually sending money to Israel today. Today. To drop bombs on students, on children, guys. Epstein files. Was Obama in Epstein files? No. Neither was Biden. Guys, wake the fuck up. Trump is not a normal president, period. He's not normal. So when people have an issue with somebody standing next to Trump, maybe there's something, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe that calls into question who the person is if their morality says, yes, I was asked to do something and I will stand by a convicted rapist as president. I will stand by a guy who has put military in the street to harass immigrants. I'm going to stand by a guy who's littered all over the Epstein styles where we know there was sex trafficking and only one person has been convicted and he's thinking of pardoning them because he feels like he can. You know, a guy who's going to give a slush fund and sue the IRS and give himself a settlement to bail out the January 6 rioters who stormed the Capitol. Like, these are things that are unprecedented in our history in America. I'm sorry, it is.
No,
I've never seen this in my life.
I'm with you, but when you have Boomer Esiason
Fuck Boomer
on,
Esiason,
hold
nigga.
on, when you have him on WFAN spewing the same propaganda to the populace of New York
Yes.
on sports media,
Listen,
that contaminates the rest
y'all,
of what I'm saying.
all y'all Italians on WFAN who want to love Trump because you think he supports you, he don't give a fuck about you. Let's keep it real. Like, you know, all y'all New Yorkers who think that Boomer Esiason has made a point about the only real man on the phone. Nigga, is Boomer Esiason a real man? Say that shit to Abdul Carter's face, like you said. Say that shit to Abdul Carter's face. And you're lucky Abdul Carter is a Muslim. He might not even sweat it. But to be quite honest, getting on your platform and as a man who said, you know what, we had a man-to-man conversation about a comment he said on Twitter. It's not like he called out even Jackson. He said, I thought it was AI. As if, it's not like he said, fuck Jackson Dark. He should go to hell. People are blowing this shit out of proportion for real. For first and foremost. Secondly, when they addressed it, he's like, listen, we had a conversation man to man, and we're cool. There's no locker room ruptures. You need to make a story because you need to get listeners on your show. So let's keep it a buck. The only bitch ass nigga in here is you, because you need to make a story up to castigate a guy because you want to dick suck the president, I guess. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what it is. To your point, there is
dude, he cut cancer research to like pediatric cancer like research. Him and Elon Musk, like, this is what the administration's been doing, and so if you stand by him, you're standing by guy who's making it worse for children to get cancer treatment. Like, this is what you're doing, and I think that we gotta be real about this. We can't sit here and just say you're asked to do something. We should ignore all morality and all types of like, if you sat next to Jeffrey Epstein because he asked you to go to, I don't know, a party, we're gonna call you out on that shit. If you sat next to R. Kelly or P. Diddy right now, we're gonna be like, yo, chill. Like, what the fuck are you doing with this guy? Because he wanted you to clean up his image, so he wants to sit by next to you. No, Jackson Dart should not be seen next to P. Diddy right now, and neither should he be seen next to Trump. I don't give a fuck what the title is, President Trump. I don't give a fuck what his title is. If Jackson Dart knows this guy's in the Epstein files, he should not be standing next to him. Period.
Well, I mean that's you got people again to your whole point, who just don't believe, man. You got people who just don't believe, and this goes back into one of our earlier friendship conversations about religion. You know what I'm saying? And
it's a cult, man.
Well, I mean, yes, but to your point, to believe in Jesus Christ, you have to believe in Jesus Christ. Someone said you have to suspend disbelief, right? To believe Jesus Christ, you have to suspend disbelief because a mythical creature who can heal with his hands and die on a cross, be resurrected from a tomb, be the Son of God, be created without conception. Like you have to believe that. You have to like wholeheartedly not let nobody knock you off your pivot and be a Christian and believe in Jesus Christ. You have people who divert from that path. And the reason why they divert from that path is exactly what we're talking about. One mind got changed, right? I got, I'm no longer religious, I'm spiritual. Even that disassociates myself from the attachment of Jesus Christ. I may can have an idea of what that is. I can may
Okay.
believe
So
in
what's your
Jesus.
point?
You know what I'm saying? But that's my point is to the people who believe in Donald Trump.
So
The people who believe in
you're comparing Jesus Christ to
no
Donald Trump.
no what
I'm
no, what
just
I'm
the belief.
the well, yeah to the unwavering support of something without having no substantial evidence or empirical data to support why you have so much faith in someone that can reassure the God complex of that man. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying when you identify someone to like the passionate vitriol response to if you stand next to a man of Donald Trump with all that you know of Donald Trump, you are a part of a cult.
At this point,
You
yes.
are a part of
And
a blindness
I don't want to
monolith.
be I don't want to be um I don't want to be hyperbolic, but this is how bad it is, kind. Like, do you support pedophilia? All right, then. Cool. Like, you probably shouldn't support him. Do you support rapists? Okay, you probably shouldn't support him. Do you support sexual harassment? Okay, you probably shouldn't support him. Do you support corruption? Okay, you probably shouldn't support him. Do you support bombing innocent children in a foreign country? Then you probably shouldn't support him. Do you support funding Israel? Okay, you probably shouldn't support him. You know, do you support killing American citizens in the street because you want to find immigrants? Okay, you probably shouldn't support him. Do you support defunding Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare and SNAP benefits? Okay, you probably shouldn't support him. Do you support? Yo, I could keep going, bro. I could keep on fucking going, and none of this is false. All this is verifiable. Do you support complete liars and frauds? Um, then you probably should support this guy, and you shouldn't support anybody he supports. You
I
know,
mean, but we're talking, but we're also talking. I don't know Boomer Esiason from what I'm saying. He doesn't come from like a rural part of America.
I don't
Like
give a fuck
he's
about
from.
Boomer. I don't care where he
Well,
comes from,
the
but
reason why I'm
there's a
saying
lot
that
of
is
fucked
because
up niggas in the city. You know,
well, the reason why I'm saying that is because the reason why I'm saying that is because I was gonna bring up Jackson Dart, Jackson Dart being from uh Utah and then playing in Mississippi, like he's bred to think the way that he does. Unfortunately, I don't mean to put the generality on those two places, but when you think of Utah and when you think about motherfucking Mississippi, you think about people who might follow and believe in Trump, right? So like when Jackson Dart, like he's going to have his own atonement at his young age to snap out of it. Boomer's 65. Again, he's a boomer. He's one of like again, like I just when we talked about earlier, aforementioned, he's one of those people who are set in the thought process of how he is. He's going to die with the thought process of how he thinks. Wipe him off the way. Jackson Dart at 22, 23. How old is this motherfucker? Let me check. He
he's early
is
20s.
he's 23. Jackson Dart at 23. Very quickly. I can't give you 30, but that's usually when we mature. That's usually when we start thinking
Okay,
different. That's usually
maybe I can have some grace for Jackson Star, but I think, oh my God,
I know. I know.
I hate
I
to
know. And I hate
I
giving
hate
grace
to
too.
I no, it's not even grace. I love giving grace, honestly. What I hate to do is avoid the urgency of where we are right now in America.
Uh-huh.
Of why I am so boisterous on my stance with Trump and boisterous on my stance with anybody who stands next to this guy. It's because we've seen this for a first term. Now we've seen it for a second term. Jackson Dart, all right, you're 23, maybe you're not political, maybe you don't know, but please wisen up, because that's not a good look. It's not. It's not a good look. And I hope that he can learn from this.
It's not a good look.
Maybe I'm being hard on the kid because he is young, but I'm
No,
I'm having a short patience for people at this time to say that this is, oh well, if you support Trump, that somehow, oh well, it's just of my opinion, or it's just, we can still talk and be friends, and oh, you shouldn't, we don't want to, we're trying to divide us. My little brother was trying to tell me the other day, like, well, you know, they're trying to divide us. It's really a class war. It's really, the poor versus the upper class and the rich. And to some extent, he's right. I told you the same thing. But there is a level of intersection when it comes to class, race, class and identity, class and gender, class and all these things, class and sexuality, class and male, female, abortion rights. All these things come into an intersection with class, because they can't force a rich woman to not or not get an abortion, because she'll figure out a way to do it, but they can force somebody who's gotten raped in freaking Idaho that, we don't do abortions here anymore, so now you're forced to have that baby. So there is an intersection when it comes to all these demographics as well as class. So Kevin Hart could avoid the police and get, just little passes because of his status. But a black guy in the middle of the hood probably won't get those same passes as Kevin Hart because of his class. So there's an intersection with race and class, with gender and class, sexuality, all types of shit in class, that you are in a lesser division of society. And that's why I say we're in an oligarchy. We're not really in a democracy. Your vote really doesn't count, because what we're doing is voting people to represent us who can just change their mind.
So why can't we turn it over? Why do we? You spoke earlier and said you don't believe that we can overturn them. Why? The clearly the elites, the 1%, the 2%, that still leaves.
I think there's more of us than them, but it's gonna take people understanding the realities of what is happening right in front of their face. You just talked about the Washington Nationals are spying on their own patrons, bro. We should not be going to Washington Nationals games right now, like for real. But people will docilely just completely just go through life and say vote Trump, go to the baseball game, and like robotic, and not do their fucking research and say, you know what, let me take a stance on where I put my money, who I support as a political candidate, and let me try to see if I can influence where this country goes. Not from a blind allegiance to what my parents told me to do, not from a blind allegiance because I'm a white man or because I'm a black man or because I'm a woman or man. No, take into account the actual policies this person is putting forward and saying, is that better for you and the people at large?
I think to your.
Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
The reason why I was going to say, I think to us, me and you, it starts with me again. It does start with me and you then, because to your point, it goes back to us having to read terms, and you may not agree, but it goes back to us reading terms and conditions, because those terms and conditions that we don't read is then what they will use against us to why we can't have a class action law.
100%. You're 100% right, and I think that we're on YouTube. We should be reading all this up. You're 100% right, 100%. And it's on us to do the work. But my thing is, once you do know, because I didn't know the Nationals situation, but now we're talking about it, right? Now I'm informed about the national situation. I won't be going to no Nationals fucking game. Even if I did live in DC, fuck that. Even if I got free tickets, I'm not going because this story came out.
Tough.
And
if I get free tickets to go to the Garden, I'm going though.
But this is what I'm saying.
The Garden does it. I would do it.
But this is what I'm talking about. People will throw away their sovereignty for a little bit of leisure, a little bit of luxury, and that's the decision we make every single day. We talked about it with the AI stuff, and we know that we're doing it for a good cause because we're trying to put more information out. We almost have no choice, right, with the AI stuff, but we're making that choice actually honestly and consciously, right? So even us, I'm
Correct.
talking to us as well. We got to make certain choices as well. I'm not trying to be on some hot moral high ground, bro, but when it
Right.
comes to going to a baseball game where you know you're going to be on a freaking camera, when you honestly, people should be protesting outside of nationals. The players, real talk, should be protesting that shit because the picture is not even being put on the social media for whatever political reasons they're saying because of his Christian faith. Like he shouldn't even be playing for them, honestly, if you really believe in your faith. But for luxury and for the check and for not rocking the boat, people will not move. And that's the thing we have to understand is the society we live in will buy your silence. It will buy your docileness. It will buy your abdication and bowing down and saying, please help me. They'll buy you to be a slave. And you will willingly do it. Now it's not like I'm forcing you to be a slave. You are willingly choosing with your dollars, your time, your money to say, yes, I'm going to go to the Nationals game and I'm going to be scanned and you can have all my information and you can watch my cookies and my porn searches because I want to see a home run and maybe I can catch a foul ball. That's what people are doing. And you probably are not going to get a ball. You're going to eat a hot dog, sit your ass down and get scanned.
And James Dolan ain't never giving out tickets to the Garden for my ass to get scanned there either for free, because definitely he uses the same technology there where we got facial recognition at Madison Square Garden.
But you see the Knicks and they're getting finally in the playoffs. So the fervor of like I need to
Exactly.
see
So
them win.
nobody's gonna
People are
protest
they
outside
don't
the
give a
Garden.
fuck about their facial recognition again. They're waiting to see a championship.
Nigga,
A
they'll get in front of the
championship.
camera and do this.
Yeah, exactly. They will definitely do that. They will definitely do that. They'll get in the camera and be like, James, don't touch my dick, nigga. Like that's what they're gonna do. you know, that's exactly what they're gonna do in New York. So like, we're fucking stupid, bro. Like, let's be fucking real.
Or we can be like CIA agents and order silicon masks like the dude on Fox News. Did you see that? The
No, I didn't see
controversy.
that.
I'll send that to you offline.
Okay.
My conspiracy theory, because I got a few. I got Kevin Hart conspiracy theory. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
I want to hear that
I
one.
got the CIA mask conspiracy theory that's happening on Fox News.
Yo,
So well,
I am scared because like I don't have a filter on here, and I'm just gonna I gotta speak the truth though. Like I gotta be honest
no,
about where
it's
we
I
are.
mean,
Like and
but,
the truth of the
but
matter
to
is
your
we do
point,
have a
that's
choice.
true.
If we band together and we don't let Trump divide us, and we don't let these barriers of race, religion, gender, right, sexuality
Fast.
divide us, we can say, listen, all right, boom. We do realize that America is a multicultural country, right? So if we can start there, we can admit that, hey, everybody, regardless of culture and race and religion, should probably have a chance at having a decent life. Can we all agree on that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Then that leads us to we probably shouldn't elect racist, right? Can we all agree on that? We probably shouldn't
No,
elect
no.
racist. Oh no, no. Okay, okay. Why?
All,
Why
all,
not?
all men that was created equal when that creed was created was when your ass was not a man. I want to stand when that America was great. That's where these niggas are operating from. They're
Exactly.
operating when they celebrate the we the people. Whenever I see a person with we the people on their bumper, or we the people as a tattoo, or don't tread on me, I
We
be like,
the people. It's like nigga. Oh
you jack
no.
swagger
Oh
ass nigga.
no. Oh no. I'm
Oh,
getting flashbacks, bro. I need it. Okay, listen. I avoid those people, man. You have the Confederate flag and all this stuff. They lost. They lost because they were bad people and their policies of slavery was wrong. This is not. It's not about freedom of speech. That's not what the flag represents, guys. The Confederate flag is a rebel flag of people who genuinely want to own other people based on the color of their skin. Let's keep it a buck. Why can't we just be real in America today? Why can't we just say the truth out loud? Why can't we just be honest about the history of this country? And people don't say, oh, they're having black fatigue. Because we're telling the truth. Because y'all used to own slaves that look like, us. And we need to still deal with
You
that
know,
because y'all haven't really admitted or passed on any laws to say, listen, we will never do that again. Or actually are repealing some of the civil rights right now and taking the Voting Rights Act back. Like these are things that are actively happening now. So when black people are talking and you just don't want to listen, you just don't want to hear what black people are saying, it's because our dignity, our sovereignty, our lifestyle, our existence in America is being attacked. And I always say, not just us. I always gotta throw out the Latinos and the immigrants, and the gays and the lesbians and the trash. I always gotta do that because they don't like any of us. And if you're supporting this administration and you're any of those groups, you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot, bro. Like,
yeah.
because I want to realize that we're stronger together. And we all have a problem with this administration. White people, even you, if you are tough, if you're stuck trying to figure out how you're going to pay for rent, if you're stuck trying to figure out how you're going to pay for the gas, if you're stuck trying to figure out how you're going to get a subsidy for your farm, or you can't, the tariffs has fucked you guys up, and or you're getting brown water because
Oh,
of
yeah,
data
welfare.
centers, or you're on welfare and they're trying to take away your food stamps and SNAP benefits. You deserve that. You honestly pay in taxes to the system every time you go to work, and you sometimes need a leg up and assistance to pay for these expensive groceries. You do deserve that. For the course of your life, you paid up way more than you even really know into the fucking federal system. So yes, they can give you some a couple $100 a month to get some food, bro. You white people need to understand you're on the wrong side of history if you're supporting this guy. And if you
But
are, and if you even if you are doing well, even
yeah,
if you are a business owner, this guy is
yeah,
super corrupt.
yeah.
And if people like him continue to win, your business is not going to do well. Your business will go down and be usurped by billionaires. It's just a matter of time.
You know what struck me when you said throughout history they've never learned,
We've been here
right?
before.
Yeah, like and I think the exasperating part about this is when you go all the way back to, hey, you people shouldn't own people. These are people. And they're like, no, bitch, who gonna do all this work then? You know what I'm saying? Like what like when you got that and then
You nigga.
and on me. Like they them niggas looked at me and was like, I think he good enough to do the work. They're like, you don't think you should pay him? Well, for what? Like when the fundamental when you say talk about history, you can't you honestly, Chidi, like you can't. We're talking about insurance companies who've built their legacy off the bodies of
Mm.
those slaves.
You,
Like
you're preaching. That's true.
we're talking
But
about banks who are established, Chase, J.P. Morgan. We're talking about establishments of how this society not just us. Chase got a motherfucking joint in Moscow. JP Morgan got shit in motherfucking China. Like these niggas are worldwide powers who benefited and started off of the indecency. So when you're asking them to then retroactively reflect on the history that they never had to participate in, they never had to acknowledge. They still don't. We have to figure out Oscar Town or Oscarville. Let me not misspeak about what Lake Lanier is. That lake is because they flooded out a black town in Georgia.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why they call that Lake Lanier cursed, because there are still bodies and burial grounds. It's a cemetery underneath that lake because
It's
of the like that
yeah,
is
this is the
what
realities, man. And
that's
when you go
that
back to the
is
insurance companies making money on black bodies, they're making money off everybody's. I want you to know that, like, there's a reason. And what I thought about when you said that was there's a reason why Luigi Mangione is like a freaking celebrity. He's People were cheering on the death of a health insurance agent for, I forget what the company was. I even forgot what the company was. But Luigi, I remember that name because people were like, yes, finally. I know everybody has a story of a health bill and not being covered for something serious in their lives, and a family member, and people were like, yeah, good. And then we bring that to the factory worker burning down the factory, and like we're seeing pockets of people saying, fuck it, I'm burning
enough
down. Just what you're saying, the burning down, like, enough. If we gotta kill somebody, I gotta go to jail. So what? If I gotta
because
burn down this
they
entire
have to
warehouse. So
see
what?
it. Because they have to, like, honestly, I know that is bad, but that's why Malcolm and Martin existed in the same timeline.
Granted, you're right.
They
Both
they
apply
they
kind of
they
needed.
they, they existed in the same timeline. You had Stokely Carmichael and you have Fred Hampton. I'm not yeah, Fred Hampton, right? Fred Hampton.
Yeah, for them for
Okay.
mhm.
I don't want to mistake it for Fred Hammond, the Christian singer. Niggas would have
Hampton. No, you're right.
crushed me. Niggas would have crushed me. Okay, but you have those. What I'm saying, those, me and you, I don't need massive bloodshed. I'm not saying massive bloodshed, but that CEO that's making that CEO that brought home $64 million on a bonus because his company of his direction is not approving claims for grandmas and kids and cancer patients, or when people are buying up insulin and then charging it 100 times X, where nigga insulin can be $35. Like we're talking about life saving things, because at the beginning of our cold opener, Tupac is asking, when is it enough?
Exactly. And when we talk about capitalism, it's inherent that there's never enough. The inherent trick about capitalism is you will never have enough. So you got to keep going, or else you're going to be in a position where no matter if you're a billionaire, you're going to be in a position where you're going to feel less than, or you're going to be less, or you're not going to be able to do something you want to do. Like like these billionaires can literally change the entire state of the country if they wanted to, but they're on a mission for a number to be next to their name and legacy, that makes them feel something more than that. And
You
that's the trick
telling
of
me your
capitalism.
legacy, your legacy can't be? I forget what billionaire it is. He has $368 billion. He has the ability to give everybody, and I think that he has the ability to give everybody in the world $1 billion. Ain't it 7 billion people in the world? If you guys, you have the ability to like that ain't legacy. The
That's
you that
crazy.
ain't that ain't legacy, bro.
That's
I
crazy.
have $368 billion. I can change the world to where you just said that if I have billions, there would nothing I'd be wanting to do. Are you kidding me? What can't you do when I'm looking at Deion Sanders Jr. stunt on niggas and like, yo, is this why y'all mad? Because I'm sitting on 200 acres, nigga. We got 4 ponds, we got three, like, He's like, that is enough. We got car wash, we got gas, we got our own gas, we got our own motherfucking we got our own foot. Literally, I got our own football field where Shador go out there and throw motherfucking dimes. Nigga. Like we have everything we need. Like there can be a world where everybody can get what the motherfuckers was promised. I just need a couple acres. Just a couple acres. Fuck the mule. Don't need it even mule. If the mule gonna be on my lady now, I'll take that. You put a mule on my lady, nigga. I'm about it. All right, give my 40 acres my mule, nigga. I can be able to. I'll be able to afford my kids.
You
I'll
know
be
what?
happy. Like that'd be real.
You know what? Colonization really fucked shit up because in Nigeria, and I get it, there was colonization even in Africa, but in Nigeria, it takes a village, and we all work together to take care of one another. We grow, our food, and we help the community and people. And even when I went back a couple of years ago, we were in a gated compound still, but when we had our remembrance of my grandmother, and we had a party afterwards, all the kids from the local impoverished kids who just were just by the gate, they came in and we gave them food and little party treats, and we all danced, and it was a really good time. And I wish I can get that video because I gotta find it. But in Africa, there is a level, and it's changed because of colonization, but there is a level of tribe mentality and taking care of everybody. So the top doesn't get too wealthy. We have to make sure the bottom rises along with us. And it's constantly a conversation amongst the elders. So we treat our elders with respect. They're not in some home where we just forget about them. No, we have to take care of them and lift them up and listen to their wisdom. It's the culture is completely different, and I just wonder if there was one day like a universe where the colonization wasn't what was for our reality, and would there be a Wakanda? So to speak. Not necessarily by name, but a vision that we accept people and we bring them into the culture to also share in the wealth and grow within the resources we have. We are actively ruining this earth with the whole capitalist mindset. You're talking about the data centers. You talked about the water shortage. You're talking about the pollution. Um, all that leads to is people knowing your information. We talked about flock. People knowing where you are at all times, and people knowing if they're going to give you water or not. I looked into some stuff today because I was looking about AI, and I was looking into are you able to make an AI movie at the time? It led me down a rabbit hole where I realized that there's companies, OpenAI, Google, NVIDIA, who are trying to make they're not able to make a full 3D model of the Earth with AI yet. We're not there yet. And maybe 10 years they'll be able to. And within AI, it will be able to. The problem is physics. There's no AI model where physics can be created. So if you were to make a movie in AI with rain and have a guy walk from one part of the town to the next, at some point it would look weird, And if you had a storm come in, or if you had, just different things with physics, air molecules are not going to act. They can't calculate all those millions and millions of calculations to create that. But what we're going to get to a point is where they can create a whole 3D AI model of the world with comparing it with the knowledge they have of us to mimic the population. So they can then say, okay, if we were to destabilize this country, how would people react? Do a whole test run scenario on that bitch and see how people react in the AI model, and then determine on if they wanted to stabilize that country or nuke that country, how would they react, and based off the reaction that happens in the AI model. And this is like 10 years down the line. Or they can use the AI model to say, hey, how can we solve, or predict storms and prevent that, and for like Texas, and like build houses, or how can we better now that we have models and physics, we can then determine can we build a better version of an airplane that's more aerodynamic, that's more comfortable for people. There's good ways to use this technology and bad ways, but one thing we do know that's coming is misinformation and models of us that are not us, and them using that to do whatever they want with it because we've given them all of our data. Now they got our images. They're going to know exactly where we are at all times. We're going about baseball games where they're selling our data. This is the future that we have on the table for us. So if people aren't going to wake the fuck up, be prepared for the apocalypse or the AI, reality of being in the fucking Terminator or Minority Report, whatever you want to say, where that profile on you, they're gonna know when you took a piss and when you took a shit. So that's what it's gonna be. And what they will do is send you something to make sure that you're on time taking that piss and shit. So you're gonna be essentially an AI model of yourself in real life.
Yeah, with that, let's go ahead and wrap this up because I want to get to something with you, but I want to do it off here.
Okay.
Kind of along with what you're saying because I do feel like we're already there. Like,
We're not.
are you there?
Not what I'm talking about because I've done
No,
thorough research, but I hear what you're talking about. Yeah.
Are you the real you? Are you cloned?
Can't
Are
tell you
you
if I am or not.
exactly? And I think we're already there yet. I think we're there. That's
You think I'm
that's what I.
cloned?
No, I think there are. I think. Hey,
We'll
it's
talk.
out the mud. What's up with you?
Now we're going to real conspiracy world theories, man. Listen, man, we're gonna be back tomorrow, and I mean, hey, this shit gets deep. I'm definitely not AI because if I was AI, I probably would be on the side of Trump. But
No, they created the model of you, bro. They probably got the technology. Like
oh,
I might I'm like if we keep it a bean and we want to end it how we want to end it. Hey, I want everybody to go look at Kevin Hart car crash from a couple years ago.
oh my God.
Okay, all right. I want you
With
to see
that
that
being
car.
said, all is
I want
love. Everything is everything.
you
Everything is everything. Keep love first. Please keep love first in your heart and spirit, guys. Because Lord knows we fucking need it. Lord knows we fucking need it.
trying to get somewhere since you there. I'm here. You know.
Hey man, I already know where you're going. I feel like that's just gonna take us down a whole rabbit hole. And I don't got time for another hour talking.
That nigga is clone, and he said it.
Everything is everything. We shall see y'all tomorrow. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see y'all very soon.
Peace.
Peace. If you made it this far, you are a real one. Thank you. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more daily content from your boys from Everything Is.